Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to this channel. My name's Christiana Davidson, and I'm a psychotherapist and a hypnotherapist, and I specialize, as many of you will know, in the area of narcissistic parents and their impact upon their children, how it plays out in adulthood. Now, the title for today's topic is The Narcissistic Mother's Womb, Where the Control All Began. And I just invite you now to take a moment to recall how your mother describes your birth, because that will come up a bit later in this video. And it's a question I ask my clients as they journey through the different stages of my course. What did your mother recall, or what does she tell you about what the day was like, what the experience was like for her of being pregnant with you, and then also when you were born? So, where the control all began. What do I mean by the control? Well, we know by now that narcissism's chief aim or need is supply, and they need to be able to secure supply. So in other words, they need to be able to control a source of supply for their own ego in order to uphold the false self-image. And it's number one for the narcissist to have complete control over you as their child, so that they have the power at their disposal to get you to do what they wish in order to meet their supply needs. And that goes for both the golden child and the scapegoat. You know, the golden child to meet their idealized needs, the scapegoat to be there to be the projected on one of the negative traits, the disowned parts. But you see, the thing is here, the key thing is that they need complete control. They need complete control always, anytime, all the time. And that means when you are the child, the son or the daughter of a narcissistic mother, they want control over you physically, emotionally, psychologically, spiritually, and sexually. Every aspect of you needs to be something they can stamp their mark on, that they can infiltrate and somehow connect to them so that you cannot have it for your own. And they ensure then that by doing this, that they have power in that area too, to influence you for the rest of your life. So it's a complete takeover of control. So for the narcissistic mother, in essence, what we're saying here is that they're wanting the same power over you that they had when you were in the womb. So when you were in the womb, you had no power. None. No power at all in the womb. You were subject to eating what mum ate, what she liked. You were subject to doing what she was doing. You had to listen to her movements and words and feelings. You had to be attuned to her in every sense, seeing the world and yourself in some ways from her perspective. She was the center of your world. She was your world. Without her, you wouldn't survive. She was everything to you. But the other part of this is that you also did all of this without complaint, without wanting any other option, and without any sense of individuality. coupled with this, you were also supportive of her false self-image when you were in the womb, because when you're in the womb, you present to the world your mother as a good mother, the false self-good mother of the narcissistic mother. You know, it's here that she has you inside her under complete control, and she's able to present that false image of the good mother without actually doing any mothering. And that is the desire of the narcissistic mother, to get all the good bits of mothering, but not to actually have to step up and be a mother, a real mother. So although when you were in the womb, to your narcissistic mother, it appears that this was ideal in so many ways. However, the narcissistic mother actually wants you out of the womb at the same time, especially if you were the scapegoat child. You know, even in the womb, your role began. In her way of interacting with you, the image that she created of you began when you were conceived, or probably before that, to be honest. So the exchange of energy, the communication between her and you was already taking place in the womb according to your role, your desired role by her. So she wants you, on one hand, in the womb, but she also wants you out of the womb. You know, the burden of going through pregnancy, etc. So at the heart of this, every narcissistic mother wants to be a mother without any of the difficulties or having to actually mother. You see, they don't want the tantrums, they don't want individual demands, they don't want your separate needs. They just want to be God to you. They want you to adore her. She wants you to love her. She wants you to obey her. And she wants to be in complete control of you, because you are there, you are being given to her, as many narcissistic mothers would believe, as a gift from God to her. And with these mothers, you find they often give the actual parenting part over to the other parent. So things like, you know, when the child is having tantrums or misbehaving or whatever it might be, they often give the actual disciplining and challenges to the other parent to handle, because they can't cope, or they don't want to, or they're the victim of a bad child. And it's not fair that they have to have this experience. It should be the ideal experience, you know, where I'm adored and loved and I get all these wonderful moments with my child. But the bad moments, you know, those are, you know, that's the child's problem, the child's fault, because they're not meeting her needs. So the narcissistic mother wants you to remain as the baby in the womb forever, but to be outside of her womb, in other words. That way, she is still seen as the good mother and is in complete control of you. But she doesn't have to have you inside her. She can just maintain that relationship, but have you outside. She still wants to be God over you. So in essence, she wants for you to surrender all your own power and all your own ability, your own rights to make choices for yourself, because that is a loss of control. When you can make choices for yourself and decisions for yourself, she feels like she's lost control. It's a sign of your independence. So her aim is to make you 100% compliant to her, to have control over your decision making, to influence it. And that's why so many of my clients find it difficult, because, you know, they've sort of grown up learning to go to their narcissistic mother to seek advice or validation for decisions they're making, because they've been fed with self-doubt over the years in order to keep them under control. So when they're faced with a decision as an adult, they go into anxiety, panic, because they can't trust themselves, they doubt themselves. And that has been as a result of the narcissistic parents' manipulation to keep them under control, to keep them adhering to the wishes, decisions, choices of the parent. And of course, every time you don't comply with the choices or wishes of the narcissistic parent, guess what she will use to reassert control? That's right. Number one is guilt. Number two, possibly I would suggest, is apathy. You know, when you share that you've made some decision or taken a step in your own independent direction, if she's tried guilt in the past and it hasn't worked, she might use apathy, like, oh, great, you know, not really showing much interest or bother. Or she might try the tactic then of self-doubt, causing you to doubt your decision. Like, oh, really? Oh, are you sure that's what you want? Well, I'm surprised to hear you say that. Oh, well, you know, I hope it is what you want. And that will be, you know, drip fed throughout, even when you go ahead and make that decision. Years later, she'll still be suggesting that might not have been quite the right thing to have done back then. This is what I mean, the complete control over a lifetime. So really, when you pick up on your mother using any of these tactics, particularly infantilization, where you're treated like a baby, or she refers to you in childlike ways, or brings up memories of you as a little girl, little boy, you know, oh, and you know, reflecting back on moments like that, and it feels it feels off. Well, it is off. This is all part of keeping you as that baby in the womb. So that's why in some of the work that I do with clients, with some clients, we actually do go back to the womb, whether they go back voluntarily themselves or it's directed by me. We can explore this in hypnotherapy. And, you know, really what we're doing here is, in all of this healing work, is rescuing you from the control of your narcissistic parent. And that does go back to the womb of your narcissistic mother. If you had a narcissistic mother, we need to separate you there. In the womb, we need to discover your power, your individuality there. So if you're interested in doing any of that kind of work with me, please do check out my website, www.delight, DELIGHTINU.com, all lowercase. And you'll see there's a free consultation you can book in. There's so many different options. But I have to say, my courses are powerful, powerful when it comes to breaking you free from the inner control that your narcissistic parent may still be asserting over your life. You're meant to be free, and that's what we're all about here. Thanks, everybody. I hope you have a lovely afternoon, and I shall see you again very, very soon. Take care. Bye now.